Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, your place for news and gameplay. Some good, some bad, and let's be honest, likely some rage and tilting. If you like what you see, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications. Today's episode, take a look at some more test server action. Again, we're looking at the Leech. Some of the items have changed. They have actually increased the speed of it to 60 kilometers per hour. They've kept the Repulse damage at 35%, but you can still actually go through walls, which I'm not a big fan of. The other thing they've changed, though, is the distance. They've now reduced the distance for Leech ability from 600 meters down to 350 meters, I believe. In addition, they've brought back the shield breaker. Again, something I'm not a fan of. So the thing that has changed now in the shield breaker is previously when you shot any weapons at a shield, it would one single pellet from a shotgun, for instance, would completely disintegrate that shield. It didn't matter if it was an Aegis shield, an Ansel shield, or the Retribution shield of the Greek bots. Now what they've changed is only you can actually do damage through shields. So what that means is the shield does not actually drop for other people, your teammates, to hit that same bot. Essentially, it makes all weapons behave like energy weapons do against Ansel shields. So in other words, all your rockets, all your projectiles, all your energy shots go straight through the shields. That includes the Greek bots, and it's for a duration of, I believe it's about 6 seconds. So for 6 seconds, all your weapons can actually do damage straight through shields, but none of your teammates can actually go through the shields and do damage unless they also have the shield breaker. So in other words, the name of the module, you're not really breaking shields anymore. It's more of ignoring shields. And the thing is, though, with, say, projectile weapons, or maybe not exact projectile weapons, but for definitely, for instance, for rockets, and I think it's also for projectile weapons as well. The thing is, yes, you go through shields, but you still actually physically damage the shields at the same time. So I'm going to try to get a gameplay going. I'm going to see if I can find some kind of an Ansel shield or some kind of shields to actually use the shield breaker on. I wasn't too successful earlier. I was playing a couple games, but most people did not seem to be running shields. So they were more focusing on the Leech. So we'll see if we can find anything. But that's the way it's supposed to behave: is that your weapons go straight through the shields, and if it was an Ansel shield or an Aegis shield, it would still damage the shield going through, but your projectiles are not being inhibited itself by the shield. So for 6 seconds duration, all your weapons will go through the shields. So that being said, let's take a quick look at my hanger, and let's jump into some gameplay. So my first spot here, I have the Leech, and if we look at what I have equipped, I have 4 Coronas, anti-control last stand thermonuclear reactor, running a quantum radar on this one, and my pilot, I'm running, on all my bots, I'm running, if they have the Wonder Worker ability, I'm running it as well as Mechanic, because as I've seen in several test servers now, the Mechanic skill doesn't work, and I do want some healing, so I have been running it, and it doesn't seem to be the case that the Mechanic works. The Mechanic skill still seems to be broken, but I just haven't changed these out. So I'm gonna keep these 2 on all the bots that can actually run Wonder Worker, and the ones that don't run Wonder Worker, I'm just gonna run the regular Mechanic. However, the Mechanic, I'm fairly certain is still broken. I have increased weapon damage for the Corona, as well as shock grouping and increased speed. We're going to just go through these really quickly here. Another Leech running 4 Vortex, anti-control last stand thermonuclear reactor. This is running the shield breaker module. If we look at the shield breaker module itself and look at the details, you'll see it says the ability durations for 6 seconds. As while the module is active, your weapon ignores all types of energy shields and directly inflicts damage to the robot's hull. So if we look at the pilot, running increased damage, Leech, the mechanics, and the Wonder Worker as well, increased damage across the board, durability and speed. Next one, I'm running the Loki. I put Quantum Radar on this one because we do happen to get a Beacon Rush or Domination match and there's Lokis running around, I want to be able to take out the enemy team Lokis. This one I am running 2 anti-controls because I want to just give that little bit of more of a boost for getting locked down, as well as a last stand. And the pilot itself, I'm running Repair, so this is the ones that only has the mechanic because it doesn't have wonder work ability available to it. I'm running increased weapon damage and shock grouping for the Halo, and then the rest of it is mainly speed and a little bit of durability increase. My 4th bot, I'm running the Fenrir because I do want to see what happens when I get hit by the shield breaker. So just put 2 Storms and Avenger on here, running anti-control last stand and a heavy armor kit with the shield breaker module itself. And this bot is more focused on being a bit of a tank. So I have the mechanic for healing. I'm recharging my shields. I have increased speed. I have increased shield capacity, increased durability with the tough guy, as well as increased regular durability with the armor expert. And finally, I'm running the Ares. Again, I want to see if I can get hit by somebody running the shield breaker, how it affects me. Running 2 pulsars, 2 shredders, anti-control last stand thermonuclear reactor with the shield breaker itself. And in the Adrian pilot here, I'm having the Wonder Worker healing, the regular healing, and a whole bunch of damage that I can get. Regular increased weapon damage and my ability damage, increased speed and durability. So that's a quick rundown of my hangar. So without further ado, let's get into the action. Alright, here we go. Team Deathmatch. So I want to preface something with this as we get going. I'm going to start with my Ares. I usually record my voice over top of these matches just as I'm playing it, so it's nice and live and you see my reaction in real time. And I did that with this match. However, I noticed just a little while ago that Adrian had put up a video and I happened to be on the enemy team, and this is the actual match we run. See that guy named Steal It over there on the left? That's actually Adrian. So I decided to scrap my original voice recording and I'm just going to talk over top of this match. Just so that you know that I'm actually battling Adrian on the other side. Or I should say Adrian is wiping the floor with me on the other side. But anyways, I'm in my Ares here. I'm wandering around. I purposely dropped my Ares because I thought a lot of people would be running the shield breaker. And I'm trying to wander around and find somebody who A, has a shield that I can shoot at because I have the shield breaker. And B, I want to get hit by the shield breaker. So I'm going over here. I'm being leeched. So I'm going to go over to kind of just behind this building a little bit. I'm trying to wait out his leech, put up my ability here, and I got a little bit of damage. That was pretty bad actually on my part. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna walk away because I'm trying to find somebody with a shield breaker and somebody with a shield that I can hit. So there's a Loki here that I really can't do much about, and there's Adrian right there in his Strider. So I'm going to go back over to this Loki here, see if I can take care of that, put up my shield. Unfortunately, if you actually go back and listen to Adrian's video, and I'll put actually a link to his video, he did not have the shield breaker running on that Strider there. So when he saw me, he was actually saying in his video he wished he had the shield breaker on at that point in time. But anyways, going back to the fray here, I'm going to try and help take it this invader in center. Not doing very well here, not with these weapons. I'll see if I can lock down Adrian. Okay, so I just took him out. And I'm still on the hunt for somebody with a shield. And I was actually pretty shocked with this. Everybody's either running leeches or other things. So, okay, so here's a guy with a shield. I'm using my shield breaker. And you can see I actually, just for a brief minute there, I did damage through his shield. So this is the way the weapon works. It doesn't actually drop the shield like it has in previous test servers. What happens is your weapons go through the shield. So see if we can take him out. Okay, so now we have another Loki coming in here. Or no, sorry, that's a Pursuer. Never mind. Now I'm just looking around. Again, I'm still trying to find some people with shields. The main purpose for me here is I wanted to test the shield breaker. I do have the Leech. I'm going to drop in a Leech here in just a little bit once I get killed. But I do want to see if I can find somebody with a shield. And I'm even watching the replay here. I am shocked at how little people had a shield. You know, it's part of the test server is to test these things, and I would have expected several people to be running shields of some sort. So now I'm kind of just stuck here trying to shoot some enemies here, and I'm getting leeched from actually from 2 guys, it looks like. Anyways, I'm just at this point I just want to get killed because I'm not finding any shields, and if I can't find any shields, then I want to at least test the leech out. So okay, so now I drop into the leech with my vortex and try to find somebody in range that I can hit. There's a falcon. I'll hit him, although he's not really the best target to hit with some vortex. Try to find somebody. I'm going to walk in the center here and pick somebody to leech and then see if I can get hit. So I hit him pretty good, and okay, I'm gonna leech onto this guy. And see, he's taking some damage. He took a little bit of damage because he was getting hit by well, I was getting hit by somebody. Now this is Adrian again. He's just going to wipe the floor with me. He's testing some wasps on the other side. Apparently wasp, or anyways, corrosion weapons is supposed to be some kind of a counter to the leech. I don't quite understand that. I'm not sure if when you get hit, even if you're leeching somebody else, you take the full corrosion effect. This is the first I've heard about it, so I'm going to have to look at that a little bit more, because I had never heard that corrosion is supposed to be a counter to the leech. Anyway, so I'm going to go over on the left-hand side here. Again, I put in my Fenrir here with my shield, so I want to see if anybody can hit me with the shield breaker. And so my shield's already down. So what should typically happen if I get hit by somebody with a shield breaker is my shield shouldn't go down, but the weapon should go right through my shield. So I'm trying to put up my shield here. See, somebody's hitting my shield, so my shield's just going down with normal fire, so they don't have a shield breaker. So I'm just trying to battle this falcon, see if I get him killed before I die. Okay, so I got him killed. And going on over on the left-hand side here, there's that guy behind cover. And I'm not, yeah. Still trying to, okay, see, I just took a little bit of damage and my shield was up. Actually, I think that was Adrian that jumped on in. Yeah, he had a shield breaker icon above him. So he used a shield breaker on me and he went through my shield. Now, I have also done a few games here, and I've noticed a couple times my shield actually goes down as well as the bullets come through. But then other games like this one, when the shield breaker is being run, only the weapon ammo comes actually through the shields and my shield doesn't go down. So I'm a little confused. I think there's some kind of a bug in the system with respect to the shield breaker and how it works. Alright, so I got Coronas on this. Just going to back up a little bit here so we can get a little bit of cover. Just trying to go back here, find my opening. At this point, I've kind of given up trying to find somebody with shields. So I'm just going to try and play it to the end. So this is a leech here, I believe. And I don't know what this guy here is in. It's an Orc Inspector. So let's go around here and get his last stand. He activated his last stand. He also put in his phase shift, and I'm going to take him in here in a second. There we go. Okay, so just trying to run back here behind cover. There's a guy over there. I think there's somebody. Gotta walk. Yeah, okay, somebody behind me. I have to turn around. He's got stealth. I can't remember what he's in. Leech him. See if he can get him out. So he activated his phase shift. And see, that's something I don't agree with. If the leech can actually, cool. If this leech ability can go through structure and everything, and go through shields, then phase shift should not stop the damage either. And it appears as though, at least with him, he was firing at me when I had him leeched, and when he activated his phase shift, he didn't take damage anymore. So I still think there's some issues going on with the leech, and there's definitely, for me, some issues going on with the shield breaker. So we're doing a double Leech here, so neither one of us is shooting each other. I'm going to probably lose this battle because I think he activated the Leech last. So he's going to be able to shoot first before I can shoot. Oh, and I almost had him anyways, but... Alright, so... Now I'm down to my last spot, my Loki. And I'm going to go after this Leech over here on the left-hand side. And you're going to notice a bug coming up right here. So he leeches me, I stop firing at him. I wait, I activate my ability just so that he can't actually fire at me. I was trying to save my last stand, but I didn't. And something happens here. I don't know if he goes AFK or not, but watch what happens. His leech ability is over, but his resistance is still there. He's still at 90% resistance, even though his shield ability, his leech ability is not activated. So I'm going to spend the next probably 20-30 seconds trying to kill this guy sitting here because he has permanent resistance now at 90%. And yeah, so just sit here and wait for me for a little bit. It's just going to, eventually I do kill him. And I'm actually surprised at this point. I've just been sitting here all this time firing at him and no enemies has come up behind me. And I say that yet because an enemy will come up behind me here soon. And it'll happen to be Adrian. Adrian's going to be the one that takes me out here in a second. But it's it's some kind of a bug here. Again, I don't know if he went AFK or what because he's not firing at me. But he has permanent resistance right now. But I'm still doing damage. And there, I just got the kill. And there go. Adrian's shooting me now. And I just died from Adrian. And of course, now he's in his Fenrir. So I could have actually had a bot to use my shield breaker on. Anyways, at least I saw enough from this one particular battle and some other battles that I can comment on. I'm probably going to run a few more matches after this. And then I'll put in my thoughts at the end of this match. I'll tack them on at the end. So, and that's the game right there. So we took it for the full 10 minutes. And we just squeaked out with the victory there. If they had another minute or so, I think Adrian probably would have won it for their team. All right, so I don't need to give any feedback. All right. Okay, so let's see how we did on the team. And second, yeah, I got overboard. Who cares? So we got second place over $1 million. Adrian got 1.4 million on the other side. Both teams did fairly well. It was a pretty even match. Anyway, so my final thoughts. I still don't like the Leech. Last weekend, I was kind of on the fence about, the leeching ability. I don't agree that you should be able to leech somebody, or at least activate the Leech when somebody is behind cover. It takes away the whole aspect of skill and tactics and using your cover to your advantage. Last weekend I was saying that I think it might be okay if you're at least on line of sight to activate the Leech, and then you still have that permanent connection if they go behind cover. I'm not sure I even like that anymore. It's to me it's almost unfair gameplay to be able to target somebody and leech them and not even be engaged in them. Like if there happens to be a guy or a bot over there that just I see it happens to be annoying, like typical like a Hydra Spectre, for instance, that always just sits behind cover. And now that they change the distance, if he's within 350 meters range, I could target him, leech him, walk out into the open a little bit, get the enemy team to shoot me, and thereby I can kill him or at least severely damage him, even if he activates his stealth, just simply because I've leeched him behind cover and the enemies are actually shooting at me. And that for me is a way to take out somebody who's been a little bit of annoying, who's behind cover, and I don't even have to get anywhere near him to engage him. So I don't like that aspect of it. I really don't think that the Leech in its current form should be there. It was a kind of an interesting concept when it first came out, the ability to leech onto somebody and to redirect damage. But no, I don't like it. It's been weighing on me a little bit, and I've been thinking about it quite a bit. and I don't think this is an appropriate avenue for the game. It's going to come in regardless of whether I like it or not, but I'm just being honest. I don't like it the way it is, and I don't really have any suggestions to fix it because I don't think that ability should be there. The only suggestion I can have is you have to be line of sight to activate it and for it to be active. But then if you do that, then it really is almost, I don't want to say worthless ability, but everybody, if they get leeched, they're going to go behind cover. Maybe you can counter that by, if you leech somebody and they're in line of sight, they get slowed down while they're being leeched, and therefore it's harder for them to get behind cover. I might be able to get behind that as long as the bot has to be in a line of sight with no obstacles between them in order to take damage. So as for the shield breaker, I'm just going to be honest. I hate it. I hated it since it first came out a month or two ago, whenever it was, and I hate it now. It's ruining a lot of the bots. It's going to be a active module that probably is going to cost 40 power cells like these other premium active modules do. You're going to burn through your modules using it, and it's a module that completely destroys many of the bots in the games. You already have bots like the Fujin and the Carnage that are struggling even in the lower leagues because simply of energy weapons go right through them. And that's why things like the Aegis Shield was put in for the Bulwark, the Blitz, and the Fenrir. And so at least you have to bring that shield down in order to do damage to them. And then you have the Greek bots with the permanent shield, the Retribution Shield or Absorption Shield, whatever you want to call it, for a duration. I think it's 5 to 8 seconds, depending on the bot. And now you have a module that makes every single projectile, every single type of weapon go through every single shield type. And yes, it has only a duration for 6 seconds, and then it cools down. And it's only for your bot. At least it's not like in the previous test servers where one single hit just brings down your shield, and then absolutely everybody can pound on you. But again, it takes tactics out of the game. I find a lot of the things that are being added to the game these days are no-skill items. I happen to agree with what Manny says when he talks about running Last Stand on Ares. That the Last Stand is a no-skill module, and to me, it doesn't need to be in the game. The Shield Breaker is one. The Phase Shift is another. These are things that, at least for an entry-level person, it really is no skill to it. Yes, in higher leagues, like for instance, using the Phase Shift at the appropriate time can be an awesome thing to do, and it does take some skill. But for the most part, a lot of things just kind of, I don't really know how to put this. It's making the game complicated, and it's taking skill and tactics out of the game too. And the Shield Breaker is another one of those. You just activate it and shoot at the bot, and you don't have to worry. All your weapons are going to go through it. You don't have to worry about whether it's a Greek bot and has an absorption shield. You don't have to worry about whether it's a Fenrir or a Bulwark or a Blitz. You know your weapons are going to hit them. Same thing with the lockdown ammo. I don't agree with the lockdown ammo either, in the sense that it's now a 100% chance that you get locked down. And I understand that you're spending power cells, so you want it to work. And same thing with these other modules. But I guess you can just put me in the camp of the person where I never agreed with modules to begin with. And I really don't think the Shield Breaker is an appropriate use of the developer's time to create for the game. It's just going to cause more problems than it's worth. So those are my thoughts. I really hope they finally decide to just scrap the Shield Breaker instead of just keeping it back, bringing it back. But we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, if you have any questions or comments or thoughts, leave them below. And until next time, cause some mayhem in the field for me.